Welcome back. We've got something new and fancy to look at. I say new and fancy. It's not that new and it's not that fancy either, but it is technically a new release that we need to take a look at. This is a couple of days late. I was on holiday. I forgot to tell you all that. So there's been a bit of a gap between videos, but that's because I wasn't here. So, well, a bit late to warn you now, isn't it? It's already happened. So, what have we got to look at? It's a new Imperial Knight, which, generally speaking, they're not new. Because even if we get a new loadout, it's still just an Imperial Knight. And don't get me wrong, I do like the Imperial Knights, and let's face it, there are like four varieties now, which is really pushing the boat out. But yeah, this is the Questoris Knight Defender, and it's essentially, well, it's another Imperial Knight, isn't it? It's another Questoris Knight, which means it's this guy. This guy we've seen before, many times. There's like 9 variants of these now? No, not 9, no. Hang on, we've got the Gallant, the Defender, the Paladin, we've got the Canis Rex / Preceptor? Is that it? Are we on, is this the 6th one then? Because there's another one that I can't remember the name of. But then there's also the Forge-World ones as well. Why don't we just see what they say in the article? They'll probably list them or something. So, if you listen closely, you can hear the distant thunder of titanic footfalls. You'll be able to hear those for ages, and the blare of majestic war horns, which you've also been able to hear for ages, which can mean only one thing: Imperial Knights are on the march. Through the fog of war, we've spied a new Questoris-pattern Knight, Jesus Christ, stomping towards the front lines. First things first, right? First things first. There is something on the top of this knight that is super interesting, because as something of a dreadnought connoisseur, that's not how you pronounce that word, there is a piece of, war gear that was supposed to be on the Derrideo Dreadnought. Years ago, I feel like. I think it was the Derrideo. But it had, a shield generator thing. And it was shown off at a Warhammer Day thing. And it just never arrived. In fact, I think to this day, you can't get that bit of equipment for that Dreadnought. It was shown off. It was in a picture. It was on it. And where is it now? We just don't know. It just never showed up. And this was years and years ago. But it would appear that this Imperial Knight has managed to get his grubby little mitts on one, because it looks very similar to what's on the top of this thing here. So, this is the Knight Defender, and it's a walking reliquary of ancient technology, boasting arcane energy relay strong enough to handle the immense strain of its rare and powerful weapons. Which, let's be honest, most of what Knights have got are technically rare and powerful weapons, but sure, a blazing plasma executor, and the extraordinarily lethal conversion beam obliterator. For God's sake. You know what? I know you need to tweak the names when it comes to different units and different armies. It's a conversion beamer. It's just a bigger conversion beamer. It feels like it's getting a bit, not necessarily hugely silly, but it feels like a lot of this stuff, they're like, okay, well, we can't just say it's a large conversion beamer or something. We can't just call it that. We need to make sure that it's got something exciting. So we'll say conversion beam obliterator. As if the normal one wasn't already a powerful weapon. You've got to make it seem even better than it already was. It was really pretty damn good. It just makes things a little bit confusing in some ways. Then again, I suppose if the stat block is different. Stat block? What is this, D&D? If the profile is slightly different, then yeah, technically it's just a pain to try and remember all the names for all the things, when you could just look at it and go, yeah, that's plasma. And in fact, I think, to be fair, that's probably what everyone does anyway. I mean, that's what I do. It probably annoys some people, but, what are you going to do? Learn the names of things? Who's got time for that? Honestly, who's got time for it? Most distinctive of all is the bulbous void shield generator mounted on the top of its chassis, providing even greater protection than the usual ion shields, and a flickering dome that can envelop other nearby allies. That is fancy. Okay, let's have a look at it big style. It looks like an Imperial Knight. I mean, I've done that, and immediately I've remembered, oh yeah, they all look exactly the same. Now, I was going to do a little bit of a comparison, especially the head. I feel like the head might be new. I think, maybe? Possibly. It might be new. I think the shield might be a slightly different pattern as well, a different shape. Potentially. I could be wrong on that. I was going to check, right? I wasn't going to just sit here and guess. I was going to check. And then I went to the website, and you'll note that there's a slight issue here. They've taken it off the website. They've taken it, it's gone, it's not available. Now, the reason for this, I'm assuming, is because this lad is going to be showing up very, very soon. And it's another variant, which means they'll probably be splitting the existing ones. I've not actually read the article yet. This is my assumption. Now, if I turn out to be right, I'm going to be well happy. If it's just gone off the website for unrelated reasons, A, weird, and 2, I was wrong, but, you know, it wouldn't be the first time. I mean, it looks fine. It looks fine. It's an Imperial Knight. To be fair, there's not a huge amount they can do with them, really. They've got the chassis all sorted. There's not a huge amount you can do with them. I mean, they could maybe make it so you could pose the legs a bit easier. The legs are pretty much the same. Every single one of these, they have the same setup for the legs, which you can change if you're prepared to do a bit of cutting and gluing and a little bit of faffing around. Also, if you're doing the Loyalist Knights, if you're doing actually Imperial Knights as opposed to Chaos Knights, you can 3D print yourself some parts so that the legs look a bit lankier and a bit better, which is what I'm doing at the moment. But apart from that, this is how they stand, and it's just a case of changing the guns and the face. And even then, the face, really, does anyone pay attention to, oh, well, the Warden should have this face and the Paladin should have that face? I don't know that anyone really does that. Pretty much everyone I know with Knights just picks the one they think looks coolest with that loadout, and then that's what they do. So, yeah, technically, new layout. New model? No, it's obviously just updated sprues. It's just extra sprues on top of sprues. But again, the lack of them being available right now, I'm guessing there's some box shenanigans going on with this thing. Allegedly, the nobles who pilot these priceless relics are selfless on the battlefield. That's very odd for really any faction within this universe, but sure. Placing their significantly more durable steeds between their allies and the enemy guns. Mind you, they do have a big old shield generator, so that makes sense. Those that think the Knight's Defender are nothing more than a mobile bunker are swiftly rebuked. However, as the sheer killing power of their guns can wipe all but the strongest war machines. But who is looking at this and going, I mean, he's got a big shield, but clearly he's not going to be capable of anything else. What is this line? Those that think the Knight's Defender are nothing more than a mobile bunker are swiftly rebuked, as the sheer killing power of their guns can wipe. No one's looking at this thing and going, oh, we don't have to worry about that guy. We don't have to worry about him. He's got a shield generator, but there's clearly nothing else going on here. Look at it. Look at it. Look at the size of the guns. Even if they're not like long range, he's clearly got 2 massive guns, one of which has got a flamer attached. No one's looking at that and going, it's just a mobile bunker. We don't need to worry about it. Ignore it. That's what I'd do. If you find yourself under the command of a general who looks at something like that and says, that clearly has no offensive capabilities, let's just move on, shoot him. Take control of yourself. You're clearly better at his job than he is. Or hers. Or theirs. Point stands. Still an idiot. We do have another angle, top down, and then sides as well. I mean, the guns look good because they look like Imperial Knight guns. They're big and meaty, and that's what we like. And yeah, the shield generator looks fine. I will say, from this side, I don't like the way the shield generator is sitting. I don't like it. It's like, it's got too much of a stem on it, like a mushroom. It's got too much of a trunk coming down. I would actually find it more interesting and fun if it was sat a lot closer to the carapace. If it was just a bit chunkier, I guess. Like if it fed into the carapace in a way that looked a bit more impressive. Because right now it's just like, I guess it just plugs into the top, which is fine. But for something that's like an ancient and strange technology that presumably, like everything else, is incredibly rare, etc., you know the deal. I kind of would like to see a bit more wiring, a bit more interest than just kind of, yeah, we just plug it into the top and off you go. You know, I don't know. It's fine. The design's fine. The design is, I think, pretty much similar to other ones of its type. But the way it sort of attaches to the knight, kind of dull. Honestly, could do with a little bit more fun and detail going on there for me personally. But that's just me. You may disagree, and that's totally fine. The plasma and the conversion beam, obliterator, destructor, and annihilator, they both look decent. I do like the details on the conversion beam. That's very fun. I don't know how it works, but it does look suitably technical, so fine. So it'll be available in the upcoming Codex Imperial Knights. There'll be the usual freshly updated data cards, which will be out of date very quickly, and 4 detachments. There's no combat patrol for them because they're too chunky, so instead you get an in-depth painting and heraldry guide. fine. Now here's the question, why is the kit gone? With the arrival of the Knight Defender, the Questoris Knight will be split into 2 separate releases. Both boxes will have all the parts necessary to build the Knight's Paladin, Errant, and Crusader. Those are the ones I forgot. So Paladin, Errant, Warden, Gallant, and Crusader, while one will contain an additional sprue with which to build the Knight Defender, while the other can be the Knight Preceptor or the Canis Rex. Okay, I'm assuming these boxes will both be the same price, because the Paladin, Errant, Warden, Gallant, and Crusader, there's, I think, in total, a similar number of weapon sprues that you get for the Defender and for the Preceptor / Canis Rex. I think it's pretty much the same, because you've got the battle cannon, you've got the big Gatling thing, you've got the thermal cannon, you've got the chainsword, and you've got the fist. So yeah, I mean, there's 5 there, and then for the Knight Defender, there's 2 weapons. There's also the shield generator. There's the Preceptor weapon that I can't remember the name of. So yeah, I think that's going to work out pretty much the same. I'll be surprised if the 2 boxes are different prices. They should be the same, I would have thought. And obviously, you get dice and data slate cards, if you really want them. And I'm assuming that those are going to be released relatively soon, because they have taken the existing box down off the website. I mean, it's just not there. We had a look, couldn't see it. So my guess is that the pre-order date will be fairly close by, because otherwise, why would they just take it off for now? Unless they just ran out of stock, never restocked, and then went, okay, now we can take it down. That is possible. I mean, they can't keep anything in stock for more than like a week at a time. So that is also a distinct possibility, that they just stop making them for a bit. And if you want any, you might have to wait ages, or it'll be Saturday that they announce it. No, Sunday that they announce it. It could be either. We'll see. Anyway, there you go. New Knight Defender. Mostly new. Sort of new. Bits of it are new. The rest of it is the same as it was before. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think of that, lad, in the comments down below. In the meantime, feel free to click all the things, and I will see you for the next one.